Ladies and gentlemen, as Christmas is coming closer and closer, people are entering a very happy, jolly mood when it comes to cryptocurrency prices. And I'm noticing a trend in which a lot of people are very, very bullish right now. And I don't blame them. And I'm not necessarily not bullish, but I'm aware of two major hurdles we need to be crossing. One of which is the short-term hurdle of 44.7K that we need to break in order to maintain this upwards trend. Otherwise, we're on very thin ice. And one of which is the longer-term monthly candle close that we need to be getting above 42K. Once we do these two things, I can join the crowd in celebrating with the Christmas spirit. But until then, I'm actually a little bit cautious on Bitcoin. I want to be seeing both these things occur, and I'm going to tell you why you should be wanting to see those things occur too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. As Bitcoin presses upwards towards 44.6K again, we need to discuss what's going to be happening here. We need to discuss whether Bitcoin is still in danger. I personally think it is. And as I mentioned in the introduction, there's a short-term basis for that argument and a long-term basis for that argument. I'm not saying that Bitcoin can't go upwards. I'm merely saying that before we start rushing into long positions, before we start rushing ourselves into making a position on Bitcoin here or buying more Bitcoin, for example, we really need to be seeing a clearance of 44.6K. Let's make that case now. We'll start with the short-term perspective because this is very, very interesting. Now, as you guys know, I was incorrect the other day in regards to this RSI line. I was correct to an extent, right? To an extent, I was correct because we said that if Bitcoin closes below this RSI line, we'd enter a short position. We did enter that short position. Realistically, we got the trade from 41.6K, took the trade downwards, we reached 40.6K, so realistically there was some profit potential there, but my ultimate target was not reached for that trade, and you can see this RSI support line that actually was quite meaningful for Bitcoin was invalidated, and it's been jumping around, it's been very messy ever since. We can actually go ahead and delete that RSI support line, but the interesting thing about this scenario is I'm very much of the belief that that RSI breakdown was ruined based on multiple things that came out with ETF news, etc. It was unpredictable in my opinion. I think the TA was sound, but it just didn't play out due to the news. The interesting thing is that RSI line that supported Bitcoin was reflected on the Ethereum and on the total cryptocurrency market cap chart. And as you can see, on Ethereum, the RSI breakdown actually did occur. And on Ethereum, it actually did reach our target, right? Unlike on Bitcoin, we reached our target of 2138. Okay, let's just say 2130, which is the pink line here. As you can see, the pink line divides very clearly, okay, the bull market region from the bear market region on Ethereum. And as of right now, you know, as Bitcoin just completely continues to surge upwards after seeing a double bottom formation, after seeing a bottoming out on the red line on the screen here, which is the Ichimoku Cloud baseline, which is very important on Bitcoin. And, you know, as it surges upwards to its local high for a potential retest here, breaking above this region at 43.4K, you know, we run into a scenario in which a lot of people are expecting Bitcoin to break upwards because we have this double bottom formation, but I'm not entirely sure that's supported by the charts yet. Now, it very well could be, and here's why. That RSI line that was very important for Bitcoin, right, that ended up being not so important when it got invalidated due to ETF news, is still present on Ethereum, for example. But on Ethereum, we're testing it for resistance right now. We have not broken above it yet. And on the total cryptocurrency market cap, we're seeing the exact same thing. We're just now slightly edging above it. We haven't broken above it yet. Now, here's the good news. The good news is Ethereum is in a descending channel formation after retesting a very major support zone. It is more likely than not we do break above it. And total cryptocurrency market cap is the exact same story. It is more likely than not we do break above it. The fact of the matter is it hasn't happened yet, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. I think that now, as we head into this short-term period of the market, it's quite interesting, which we're retesting the local high here on Bitcoin, ready to potentially continue the upwards trend. We run into a very interesting scenario in which a lot of people are front-running the decision to buy or front-running the decision to long. I don't think it's necessary to be making that decision until we actually break the critical level. The critical level being the pink line on the screen. I'll make this line red so you can see the actual one. The pink line on the screen is the critical level. It's very important that Bitcoin maintains an upwards trend here. The reason being is because we've had such strong momentum to the upside for such a long period of time, a 78% move without any significant correction whatsoever. You know, we saw a move downwards to 40K from 44K, but it didn't even break any lower lows or anything like that, really. So, wasn't really a flip to a downtrend or anything significant like that. We're still in a massive uptrend here on a medium-term scale. We haven't broken the uptrend at all. We're still in an uptrend. But it's very important that Bitcoin, now that it's in a separate move entirely to the upside, manages to reach a higher high. Because if it doesn't, if Bitcoin rejects from here, sees a double top formation and goes downwards, which is actually a possibility considering what we just looked at, and considering the long term, which I'll show you in a second, if that occurs, this is no longer an upwards trend. This is going to be flipped into a downwards trend. We're probably going to be likely to break down below this yellow line, and we'll start retesting some lower support levels. So this could get very, very bad very, very quickly. And I simply don't see the justification from a logical perspective as to why you would buy right now at 44.1k instead of waiting for a break of 44.6k, literally 1% higher in the price, and buying there with much more clarity in the situation. Now, look, I wouldn't even recommend, look, personally, I wouldn't even be buying in any of these price regions at all, because I simply do not buy after an 80% move to the upside. And I'll tell you right now, I've already got my Bitcoin. I'm already situated very nicely with my Bitcoin. But I do understand the ETF decision, all that, it could, very much ramp up volatility. People don't want to miss out, whatever. But realistically, the way I see it, personally, I'm not trying to be rude. You've had 13 months to buy Bitcoin. Why are you so situated on buying up here at 44k? It just seems like you've really thrown away the opportunities of the last year and a bit. But hey, look, if you need to buy, me personally, I wouldn't be doing it right here. I'd at least be waiting for a break of this pink level, or, if we see a correction downwards, that's all the better. But yeah, at least break that pink level and see a high, so we can at least get the confirmation the uptrend's actually continuing before you rush into a long position. And then stuck holding your trade in the negative for a few months, But it all depends on your circumstances and stuff like that. I'm just trying to paint the picture that Bitcoin isn't quite out of danger yet, although it does actually look good. Now, this is from a short-term level, and on the long-term level, we can actually make the exact same argument, just using different justifications. And you might find that interesting, but it is very much the case. So different justifications, but the same argument, We've got Bitcoin facing this very, very strong, very important monthly chart baseline on the Ichimoku cloud, the red line on the screen here. It has divided Bitcoin from bull market to bear market over and over again throughout the entire lifespan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. Obviously, well, that's Bitcoin included. And it's a very important line. And right now, what we see is that we're testing this line for resistance. We're testing this line for resistance. We haven't broken above it yet. We know that breaking above it leads to Bitcoin being in a bull market, basically, because we know that whenever we've broken above this level, it's been to enter a bull market. And we know as well, with all of this said, that we haven't broken above it yet. We need to close above 42k to get above it. That close is coming in 10 days, so it's an unconfirmed breakout at the moment. We're not actually above this level. And we know, for example, that at the same part of a cycle we're in now, which is 2023, we were in this part of a cycle in 2019. And in 2019, we wicked above it, but we ultimately closed below it, and we went downwards and saw a pre-halving correction due to that close below it. So there is definitely a possibility, as per the cyclical kind of trend of what happened in the last cycle, there is certainly a possibility here, a significant possibility, that Bitcoin could close below 42k and then correct downwards for a few months until the halving, and then break it to the upside after that time period. That's not only a possibility, but it's a supported possibility. It's supported in the sense that we did the exact same thing at the same point of the cycle in 2019, and it's also supported in the sense that if we're looking at how long it takes from a breakdown of this red line to a break above it, we're looking from February 2018 to a break above it in April 2020. That's a 26 months, right? Actually, the breakdown was over here, 25 months, okay, time period there. And if we're looking over here, from the initial breakdown to a break upwards in 2016, again, 26 months. So we've got two separate occasions where it takes pretty much 25 to 26 months in the last two cycles from the breakdown below this Ichimoku cloud to the break up back above it. And right now, we are not 26 months in, right? We broke down above this level, for example, here in May. If we were to break above it here, it would only be 19 or 20 months. For it to be 25 months like the last two cycles, we have to be breaking above it in June. So if we are to form another cyclical trend here, which is actually what we want to do, in my opinion, we want to be forming cyclical trends, the thing we would be doing is rejecting from this level right now, going downwards for a few months, consolidating and breaking back above it in May or June. That would make the most sense from a cyclical level. But obviously, we can only take cyclical analysis so far when it comes to exact price point predictions. But what I would say is that acting like there's no possibility at all that Bitcoin could reject here and go down for a few months before the halving is ridiculous. There's actually not only a possibility, but a supported possibility. So I would say that all in all, there's no reason at all to assume that Bitcoin is out of danger. There's no reason at all to assume that Bitcoin, just because it's moved upwards a little bit, is completely out of the woods and is destined to go to 48k without correction. I don't think this is a reasonable thing to assume at all. I think we need to see a break of this 44.6k level before we can assume anything like that. And on a long-term basis, we need to be seeing a monthly candle close above 42k. Those are the two things you need to be looking at on Bitcoin. For the short term, a break above 44.6 and preferably a daily candle close above. And for the long term, a break above 42k with a monthly candle close firmly above it. That's what we need to be seeing for Bitcoin to be fully out of danger on both a macro and a short-term perspective. For the short term, breaking above that pink level will clear the pathway for 48k. For the long term, breaking above that level on the baseline Ichimoku cloud will clear the pathway for significant upside moves on a macro scale, just like what we've seen in the last two cycles, right? So this is very, very important, these two things, and I really wanted to do a dedicated video to bring them both to your attention. Bitcoin is not out of danger on the short term or the long term yet. It could very well be soon in the short term, and it could very well be soon on in 10 days in the long term, but it hasn't happened yet. And we have to react to the situation accordingly, and we have to treat the situation delicate like it is. This could very easily reverse back around, and I don't think people are taking that seriously enough at this point in time. Guys, thank you for watching. With that said, I hope you enjoyed. Check out the VIP group on Telegram. Now we have a VIP group chat where we post charts, whatever it may be, information about the market, news, events, whatever. We discuss them 24/7 there. If you want a community to discuss charts, etc. in the market 24/7, the VIP group has that included. We also have the main part of the VIP group, which is a paid membership for a altcoin trading signal group chat. I post altcoin trading signals in their sub daily. We've got an 80% win rate. It's been absolutely exceptional. Please go ahead and check that out if you're interested. We then have a couple of exchanges. If you need an exchange to trade cryptocurrency, Bitget and Bingx are the ones for you. Bingx is a global KYC exchange, a global non-KYC exchange. You can sign up from anywhere in the world with just an email address and a password. And Bitget is a global KYC exchange. You can sign up from anywhere in the world minus the USA with an email address, password, and identity verification. So take your pick based on geographical location, based on whether you're looking for KYC or non-KYC. They're both very, very low in trading fees. They've both never been hacked before. They've both got protection funds in case they are hacked. My referral link is down below for both of them for discounts. And then also the Crypto Academy. If you want to learn how to trade, this is the place you can do it. It's literally in the title, Become a Trader 10-unit course. That's the name of the course. So obviously, if you do this course, you can become a trader, or you can have the skills to become a trader if you deem it, if you use them correctly, I should say. All the information is on the course website, including our email address. Guys, with that said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.